Okay, today's video is on bridges, or how the AI is able to make a logical deduction based on the... Okay, so here you see me driving along in the yellow truck, and here I waste a prop shafter right there, and I hit him. I really hit him hard. I hit him so hard that I have trouble stopping. You can see how big my skid mark is there. But now according to my mini-map, the opponent is somewhere around here, so I'm a little confused. So you can see me like circling around, trying to figure out where the opponent is. Problem is he's a moving target, but I figure he's this way. My map now tells me he's in this direction. So here's a nice bridge. He seems to be right on the other side of the bridge, and so let me take this bridge and maybe I'll get him there. Oh well, what do you know? There he is, right there, almost like he's waiting for me. Yeah, almost like he's waiting for me. Maybe he was waiting for me right by that bridge because he knew that I would need to use the bridge in order to get to the other side of the water. Now, I know what a lot of people watching this are going to say. They're going to say, "Oh, no, there's no kind of, intelligence or prediction or understanding or logical deduction on the part of the AI in this game. The opponent just happened to be there. It just was wandering by at the moment that you came to the bridge. It did not predict anything. There's no real intelligence there. So let's see it. Let's see it from the opponent's point of view. I'm going to use the manual cam tool, and we're going to see exactly what the opponent did right just before I arrived at the bridge here. Now let's check this out. So here you see the opponent Bimmer in what I call the shadow mode or shadow AI, and you can see him crossing over the water in the shadow mode. Now all of a sudden he turns visible. Why? Because this is the area on the other side of the fence, is the area right where I'm wasting prop shafter. So you can see there that he crossed over that water in shadow mode and appeared right in the area where I was wasting prop shafter. Now look what he's doing. Now he's driving along, and he's driving to this very specific area. What is he doing? He's driving right to the point of this bridge. See him? See how he stops right there at the bridge? Like he knows that the player is going to have to use a bridge in order to get to him. You notice that, right? He stopped right at the bridge, and then he just stops. He drives in front of the bridge a little bit as I come along there. And of course, he gets wasted. Now, I know a lot of people watching that clip are going to say, well, yeah, he drove over to the place where you wasted prop shafter, and then he drove over to the bridge area, but he did not predict anything. He didn't do it in advance. He didn't use logical deduction to know what the player was going to do. What happened was you wasted prop shafter first, then Bimmer went over to the area where you were wasting prop shafter, obviously, and then after you started heading over to the bridge, he followed you like a magnet or a clone or something, and he just followed you as you headed toward the bridge, and naturally when you got to the bridge you saw him there because he was following you. Now I'm going to prove that is exactly false. He did not follow me. He did not arrive at the place where I was going to waste prop shafter after the fact, and he did not arrive at the bridge after the fact. I'm going to show that he did both things in advance before they happened. He predicted I was going to waste prop shafter, and then he predicted in advance that I was going to drive over the bridge. Now watch this. This is really cool. So let's see this in split screen mode. So here you see he is crossing over the water now. Right here at this point he's crossing over the water. Now look, here I'm heading towards prop shaft. Boom! Not until this moment do I waste prop shafter. Bimmer is already across the water in my area at the moment I waste prop shafter. So that proves that he predicted I was going to waste prop shafter. Now look what he's doing. He's heading toward the bridge. I'm not even starting in that direction yet. I'm just circling around. I'm confused here. I'm trying to figure out where he is. He's already practically at the bridge already. I haven't even started yet. Now I'm just now getting on towards the bridge here, and he's already there. He's waiting for me there. So you can see by looking at the split screen view, you can see very, very clearly, very plainly that he predicted that I was going to waste prop shafter, and he predicted that I was going to cross over the bridge or go to the bridge. So let's stop and think for a moment about what exactly the AI did in this clip, because when you think about it, you realize just how amazing what it did actually is. Now, first of all, it made a prediction. It made more than one prediction, actually. It predicted that I was going to waste prop shafter before I did it. So it knew that, it clearly predicted that in advance. Secondly, it understood my intentions. It knew a little bit about psychology. It knew that I wanted to waste Bimmer. After I wasted prop shafter, it knew the next thing I was going to do was I was going to want to waste Bimmer. Thirdly, it made a logical deduction. It thought to itself, look, the player can't get me through that fence. That fence is indestructible. Secondly, the player can't get me very easily by crossing over the water. So the player's going to have to go to the bridge if he wants to get me. It made logical. The player's going to have to go to the bridge. So I will go over to the bridge and meet him there. And that's basically what the AI did. And that is pretty amazing when you think about it. And finally, the AI used interception. Bimmer positioned himself exactly at the place where I would meet him at exactly the right moment when I would get there. And that is pretty mind-blowing. Okay, now let's see a related clip. Now this one I posted before, so it's kind of a blast from the past, but it ties in perfectly with the clip I just showed you. Now here you can see me driving along, trying to looking for the next opponent, and right there I realized I had this realization. Oh my gosh, he's on that elevated highway. He's on the elevated highway. How am I going to get to him? So I realized there's this bridge right here. So I drive up. I go to the bridge. I drive up the bridge, and you can see in my eagerness to get up the bridge, I almost lose control of the car. But I'm trying to catch up. I'm hoping I can catch up with him because I know he has quite a head start. And there he is, almost like he's waiting for me. Wait a minute, and he gets wasted. Wait, almost like he's waiting for me. Almost like he's waiting for. Yeah, this is right. So let's see it from his point of view. So here you can see he's driving along in the shadow mode. All of a sudden he turns visible right there, and look, he stops. He stops going. He was going at a good clip. All of a sudden he stopped. He becomes visible. He stops. He turns, and he starts banging into this lamppost. Looks like he's hitting the curb, but he's actually hitting the lamppost. And that's what they do when they're waiting for the player to do something. They will go back and forth. They'll bump into something, go back and forth, bang into something while they're waiting for the player to catch up with them. And so you see, he waited. He's clearly waiting for me, and he waits, and then he waits until I come and meet him, and then he gets wasted. This is really funny. So here you see it in split screen view, where I'm driving along, and so is he, and I'm driving along right around here. I'm just in a moment I start to have this realization right here. Boom! I realize that, oh my gosh, he's on an elevated highway. How am I going to get to him? So you can see I'm looking around for a best way to get to him, and I realize it's this bridge here. Already he has stopped. He's turned around and he started banging into this lamppost. And you can see at the exact moment, replay this clip, you'll see at the exact moment that I have this realization where he is. That's when he turns, he realizes what I'm doing. He turns around, he stops, and he starts waiting for me. This is really funny. So it's another example of logical deduction. But if you look at the clip, you can see right here where I have this realization that he's on the other level. That's the exact moment my Jetcar turns around and starts stalling and starts bumping into the lamppost. Right here, I stop. I say, oh my gosh, he's on that higher level. How am I going to get to him? That's when he turns around and he starts stalling and starts waiting for me, because he really, that guy's trying to find me. He's trying to figure out how to get to me. Here we go. It's amazing. And of course he gets wasted. So I hope you enjoyed that, and please be sure to check out my other videos.